Good morning everybody, and welcome to another video from Max Scraps, and happy International Scrapbooking Day. Today I'm going to be following a series of prompts and sketches from various scrapbooking companies or from groups on Facebook that run competitions for International Scrapbooking Day. So the first one that I'm doing, it's a Bramble fox sketch, which I will put at the beginning and end of the video. And basically you have to follow the sketch as best you can. You can flip it, you can use different size of photographs, but you must be able to see that you have used that sketch for inspiration. And you also need to use a Bramble fox perspective. So I've pulled out this collection, which is the Simple Vintage Life in Bloom collection. I'll just move my little tray across. So this is sort of an oldish collection, probably 2 or 3 years old maybe. Again, one of the first ones that I bought, and I bought everything in the collection because I really liked it. So I've got a sticker book, I've got some rub-ons, I've got a sticker sheet, and then I've pulled out some papers which I think match my photos, which are these two of my daughter and a couple of friends when they were at a house. And I've got a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to use salvage patina because I think that matches these colours. On my little tray I've got my Bramble fox piece which says together. I've got some wax thread from Hey Little Magpie. I've got some foam stickers, that's my little rub-on thing. And then I've got some various little pieces of ephemera. I didn't have a lot of ephemera left for this collection, so that's what I'm going to be using today. Oh, and I've got this stencil is from Arden Creative Studio. I don't always buy the collections from Arden Creative Studio, but I think their stencils and their stamps are really lovely, and they're very thick stencils and really good quality stamps, so I do tend to use them, and I think they're quite versatile as well. The patterns on them are quite easy to use. So let's get started. So on the sketch, which you can't see now, there is a little bit of stenciling behind some banner pieces, and the banner pieces do sort of an L shape like this, and then there's a little piece in the bottom right. So looking at my photos, I can see that the girls are wearing some black and some pink, and then this kind of teal colour. So those are the papers that I've pulled out basically. So I've got some black, and I've got some teal, and I've got another kind of teal piece there. So I'm going to start off by cutting my strips of paper. Now, when you have sketches in general, they don't give you instructions for how big the pieces are. So I'm just looking at the banner pieces and then looking at the size of the photos. I think the photos are 3x4, and the top thickest piece looks as if it's maybe 3.5. And the bigger pieces are the darker pieces. So I'm going to use this black piece. I'm just going to cut the branding strip off. And I'm going to cut it so that it is 3.5. And then I'm going to cut another one, but downwards at 3.5. That piece I'm going to leave as it is. This one I'm going to do it so that it's by 9, I think. So that's my first 2 pieces done, and I'm just going to check those out on here. So I've got that one is going to go there, and then this one is going to go down like that, and then that's going to have a little banner cut off, and I can always leave a little gap there like that. So that's my first bit done. And then I've got some blue pieces. So I'm going to start off by using this strip first. And one of them I would say is about 3.5 again. And I'm going to do it by 7, I think. Or maybe 8. I might do 8 and then I can always cut a little piece off. And then there's just a thin strip, so I'd say that's probably about 1.5. And then again, I'll cut those. And then I'm going to use this black piece. And we've got a piece that is maybe 2.5. And another piece that is another strip. So I'm going to do that by 1.5 again. Okay, so we'll just see how these pan out. Might need to do a little bit of trimming. So I'm going to have that piece like that. Then this piece is going to go along and come out to about there. I'm going to trim that with a pair of scissors. So that one like that. And I've got this one, which I think probably needs to be a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to cut 1/2 inch off that one. And that's going to go like that. And then I've got this piece is going to go underneath these 2 pieces. That definitely needs to be a little bit smaller. And then I've got this piece that's going to go behind those 2 pieces. Okay, so this one needs to be a bit shorter, so I'm just going to cut 1 inch off, and I'm going to cut 1 inch off the width, or maybe 1/2 inch. There we go, so roughly that's where my photos are going to go, and then that's where my pictures are going to go. And then the little strips that I've cut off, I'm going to put down the bottom there. So the first thing I'm going to do is just roughly measure out where I want my stenciling to go, and then I'll move all those to the side. My stenciling and my stenciling brush. And the wipes. Just give my stenciling brush a little bit of a clean because it's had a bit of green on it. And then bring in this salvage patina. Here. Some on this side. And then I'm going to do a bit here as well. Okay, and then the other thing that I pulled out was if I can find it. I found a script stamp from Hey Little Magpie, and I really like script stamps, so I thought I'd put a little bit of that over the top of my stenciling. That's upside down. That's better. And I'm put a bit there because some of my papers will probably overlap that a little bit. And then a little bit there. And then I'm going to do a little bit down the bottom there. Okay. And then I'm going to come back in now with my papers. So that piece is going to go there. I'm just going to distress the edges a little bit. Okay. And a T-square. Just go roughly there. Like that. And then I've got this one going down. And it's going to move in a little bit like this. So, and on the sketch, it's got a fishtail at the bottom. So you just fold your paper in half and then cut a triangle out to make your fishtail. Distress it again. And that is going to go probably around about there. Like that. Then I'm going to put on my thin strip, which is going to go probably there. Just want a little bit of that popping up at the top. And that's going to go there. Then I've got this piece, which is roughly going to go there. Now this piece on the sketch, you can see it on either side of the photo, so I'm going to cut a little piece off. And just stick that popping out on the other side. Hopefully you won't notice when the photographs are on. Bring that down. there. Then I've got this piece going down, which I'm going to put there. Like that. Like that. And then another piece, I've got another little piece that's popping out at the bottom there, which is this black piece. Which should be at the top and bottom, so I'm just going to cut a tiny piece off this and then cut that piece in half-ish. And needs to be a bit smaller than that. So I'm going to stick one bit underneath there, like that. And then another piece just sticking out the top. Like. And then I need a little bit of this to be sticking out as well. Put that there. There we go. So it's not exactly the same, but that's fine. And then I'm going to put my photos on and put one there and one there. But before I do that, I saw this little butterfly rub on, which I thought was really nice. So I think I'm going to stick that on first. hunger. Very sorry if you're shaking. There we go. And then I'm going to stick my photos there. So this photo I'm going to put down flat. Like that. And then this photo I'm going to raise up on some foam. And put that there. Like that. And then I need to put my little strips down the bottom here. So I'm going to do quite a longish piece of the black. Stick there. Like that. Then a piece of the teal. I'm going to make that into a fishtail banner and put that on there. Like that. And then the little bit of black that I took off, I'm just going to stick behind that piece. Trim that off a bit. Stick that there, like that. Okay, and then I need my Bramble fox piece, which is together. So I'm going to stick that down the bottom there. These Bramble fox pieces come with like a stick, like not a sticky back, but they come with like a protective backing. So if you peel those off first. And I find new glue works really well with those. So I'm going to put together there. And then I've got this title here that says Life Documented. I thought I'd put that there. Maybe on foam. On there like that. And then I'm just going to have a look at my embellishment tray. So I've got this tag piece, and I thought I could cut the tag bit off it. Use my hole punch. Stick that behind there. some of this sort of teal coloured thread. Which I could put behind. And then I'll stick that on there after. And then I've got some little tickets which you can just tuck in. And then got this other one that says life captured, which I quite liked. I can put some thread behind that one as well. There we go. And then I've got some little butterflies and hearts and things which I can kind of dot around the page. Another tag there that says documented. Got a half flower which I could put up there. Little yellow flower that I could put there. Go. And then just a few little blobs of glue. Like that. Got a couple of little hearts. Put one there. One there. And that is the layout done, I think. Hope you've enjoyed the video today. Have a look on Facebook to have a look at what challenges are available today. There's Bramble Fox, Scrapper Sketch are doing one, Hey Little Magpie are doing one, Pretty Little Studio are doing one. Some of them you can win prizes, some of them it's just to take part. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you later on in the week. Have a nice day. Bye.